I want you to do something right now. Before I say another word, open your mouth slightly. Press the tip of your tongue gently against the back of your upper teeth. Now say this word. Think. Did you feel that? The tiny movement of your tongue, the way your lips came together and then opened. The breath that moved through that specific shape your mouth made. That is what speaking English actually is. It is not a mental activity, it is a physical one. It is your tongue finding positions it was never trained to find. Your lips making shapes they were never asked to make. Your jaw, your breath, your voice, all moving together in patterns that your body has not yet memorized. And here is what nobody ever tells you. You can know every word in this lesson perfectly. You can understand every sentence, every grammar rule, every idiom. You can read English fluently and follow native speakers without difficulty. And your mouth, your actual physical mouth, can still not be ready to speak English smoothly. Because knowing English and being able to say English are two completely different things. One lives in your mind, the other lives in your body. Today we are going to train the body. Not with grammar, not with vocabulary, with movement, with repetition. With the kind of physical practice that turns unfamiliar sounds into muscle memory, until speaking English feels not like translating, not like constructing, not like performing, but like breathing. Before we begin, subscribe to English After Midnight, press the bell, and let's train. Part 1. Speaking is a physical skill. Think about the first time you rode a bicycle. You knew the theory, you had watched other people do it, you understood that you needed to balance, pedal, and steer. Your mind had the information, but when you sat on the seat and tried, you fell. Because knowing is not the same as doing. Because the body needs its own kind of learning. Speaking English is exactly like this. Your brain can store words, your eyes can read sentences, your ears can follow conversations. But the muscles involved in speech, your tongue, your lips, your soft palate, your diaphragm, the tiny muscles around your jaw, these muscles have their own memory, their own learning curve, their own need for repetition. When you speak your native language, those muscles are so practiced they move without thought. You do not decide where to put your tongue for each sound. You do not think about how to shape your lips. Your mouth just knows, instantly, automatically. That is muscle memory, and it took years, thousands of hours of speaking to build. When you speak English, those same muscles are being asked to do something new, to move in ways they have never moved before, to make sounds that do not exist in the shapes your mouth has been trained to make. This is why your English can sound hesitant, unclear, or unnatural, even when you know exactly what you want to say. Not because your mind is failing you, because your mouth has not had enough practice yet. Today, we give your mouth that practice. Part 2. The story of Sophia. I want to tell you about a woman named Sophia. Sophia grew up speaking Russian. She studied English for 8 years, in school, then university, then through online courses and self-study. Her reading comprehension was excellent. Her writing was accurate and clear. She could follow English films and podcasts without subtitles, but speaking was agony. Not because she lacked words, she had thousands of words. Not because she lacked grammar, she understood grammar better than many native speakers. Sophia's problem was something different, something nobody had ever named for her. Her mouth did not know English. When she spoke, there was a delay, a half-second pause between knowing the word and being able to produce it. Her mouth moved slowly, searching for positions it had never practiced. The sounds came out slightly wrong, not because she did not know the correct sound, but because her tongue and lips had not yet learned the path to it. One day she described it to me like this. It feels like I am trying to run in a direction I have never run before. My brain knows where to go, but my legs don't know the path. That was the most accurate description of a speaking problem I have ever heard. The brain knows, the body does not yet know the path. Sophia began training her mouth, not studying, training, like an athlete. Every morning, 15 minutes of deliberate, focused mouth practice, speaking slowly, repeating specific sounds, shadowing sentences until they felt physically natural. 6 weeks later, something shifted. Not dramatically, quietly. She described it like this. The words started arriving before I was ready for them. My mouth was ahead of my thinking. That is what we are building today. A mouth that is ahead of your thinking. A mouth that knows the path, so that your voice can follow without hesitation. Part 3. The first principle. Slow down to speed up. Here is the mistake almost every English speaker makes when they start practicing speaking. They try to speak at the speed of their native language. They push their mouth to move faster than it is ready to move. And what happens? Sounds get swallowed, word endings disappear, syllables blur into each other. The speech becomes technically fast but physically unclear, and the result is harder to understand than slow, deliberate speech would have been. The first rule of mouth training is this. Slow is the fastest way to get fast. When you speak slowly, you give your tongue time to find the right position. You give your lips time to make the right shape. You give your breath time to carry the sound correctly. You are not just speaking words, you are training pathways. And pathways are built slowly and precisely, not quickly and approximately. A musician practicing a difficult passage plays it slowly. So slowly it barely sounds like music. 10 times slowly, then slightly faster, then faster still, until the fingers know the passage so well that speed becomes possible without losing accuracy. Your mouth learns the same way. Let's practice this now. Here is your first shadowing sentence. I will say it slowly and clearly. Repeat it after me, out loud, at exactly the same pace. Do not rush. I want to speak English clearly and confidently every day. Say it again. This time, feel each word. I want to speak English clearly and confidently every day. Once more, slower than feels necessary. I want to speak English clearly and confidently every day. Notice the word clearly. Feel the C-L at the beginning, your tongue touching the ridge just behind your upper teeth, then pulling away as the R follows. Feel the L-Y at the end, your tongue lifting again, touching the same place, releasing into the Y sound. Clearly. Say just that word 3 times. Clearly, clearly, clearly. Now the full sentence again. I want to speak English clearly and confidently every day. That is how mouth training works. Not once, not twice, 10 times, 20 times, until the path is so familiar your mouth takes it without thinking. Part 4. The sounds your mouth has never made. Every language uses a different set of sounds. Your native language uses some sounds that English does not have. English uses some sounds that your native language does not have. And your mouth, faithful to the language it grew up speaking, will always try to substitute a familiar sound for an unfamiliar one. This is completely natural. This is not an error. This is your brain being efficient, reaching for what it knows instead of searching for what it doesn't. But if we want to train your mouth to speak English clearly, we need to teach it the sounds it has been avoiding. The most famous one, the one that challenges speakers from almost every language background, is the TH sound. There are actually 2 TH sounds in English. One is voiced, the, this, that, their, they. One is unvoiced, think, 3, through, thank, both. Both require the same physical movement, a movement that most languages in the world do not use. Your tongue must move forward, gently resting between your upper and lower teeth. Not biting, not pressing hard, just resting there at the front, where most tongues never go during speech. Let's practice right now. Place the tip of your tongue between your teeth, just the tip, just barely visible if you look in a mirror. Now blow a little air through the gap and say the. Again, the. Now with a word, think. Feel your tongue at your teeth for the TH, then pulling back for the ink. Think. 3 times. Think, think, think. Now a sentence. I think about the things that matter every single day. Slowly. I think about the things that matter every single day. Find every TH. Think. The things. Again. I think about the things that matter every single day. Your tongue is learning a new address. Right now it feels unfamiliar, like reaching with your hand to a light switch that has been moved to a new position. With practice, your tongue will find this position automatically, not because you told it to, because it has been there enough times to remember. Part 5. Say everything out loud. Here is a truth that will surprise you. Most English learners practice English almost entirely in silence. They read silently. They study grammar rules in their head. They think about vocabulary without saying it. They watch videos and listen without repeating. They do enormous amounts of English input and almost no English output. And then they wonder why speaking feels so difficult, why their mouth does not cooperate, why the words that are so familiar on the page feel so foreign in the air. Your mouth needs practice, and silence gives it none. From today, say everything out loud. When you learn a new word, say it out loud, 5 times. When you read a sentence in English, say it out loud. When you write a message in English, say it out loud before you type it. When you have a thought in English, say it. Even a whisper, even alone in a room, even in the car, even in the shower. Your mouth needs repetition with English sounds the same way your hands need repetition with a new instrument. Silence is not practice. Only sound is practice. Let's practice this principle right now. Here is your second shadowing sentence. Say it out loud, right now, wherever you are. My mouth is learning English and every practice makes it stronger. Out loud. My mouth is learning English and every practice makes it stronger. Again. My mouth is learning English and every practice makes it stronger. Notice the word stronger. The strong. Feel the tension, the weight of it. Then at the end, soft and open. Say the word alone. Stronger. 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 Now the full sentence. My mouth is learning English and every practice makes it stronger. Every time you say a sentence like this out loud, your mouth is building a map. A physical, muscular, automatic map of English sounds. Build that map every day. Say everything out loud. Part 6. The rhythm of English. There is something about English that textbooks rarely teach, something that makes the difference between English that sounds correct and English that sounds natural. It is rhythm. English is a stress-timed language. That means some words in a sentence carry more weight, more length, more emphasis, and other words between them are compressed, shortened, softened. The sentence has a beat, a pulse, a music. Listen to this sentence said in 2 different ways. I want to go to the store. Said with equal stress on every word. I want to go to the store. 7 beats. Flat, mechanical, correct but not natural. Said with English rhythm. I want to go to the store. The important words want and store get the weight. The words between them, to go to the, get lighter, faster, softer. This is what gives English its natural flow. Not the words, the rhythm between the words. When you practice shadowing, do not only copy the sounds, copy the rhythm, copy the music. Notice which words the speaker makes longer and stronger. Notice which words almost disappear. Let your mouth learn not just the sounds, but the pattern. Here is your third shadowing sentence. This time, as you say it, put energy into the words I mark with capital letters, and let the other words stay soft and light. I am trying to speak more clearly every single day. Say it. I am trying to speak more clearly every single day. Again, let the rhythm carry you. I am trying to speak more clearly every single day. Feel the difference. The sentence has movement now. It has energy in the right places. That is English rhythm. That is what makes speech sound natural instead of flat. Part 7. Connected speech. Now, let's talk about something that confuses almost every English learner. Something that makes listening to native speakers feel like a completely different language from the English you studied. Connected speech. When native English speakers talk naturally, they do not say every word separately, like reading a list. The words connect, they blend, they run into each other, sounds change, words shorten, and what comes out sounds very different from what is written. Want to becomes wanna. Going to becomes gonna. Got to becomes gotta. Did you sounds like didja. What are you sounds like what're ya. This is not incorrect English. This is natural, fast, conversational English. The English you hear in films, in conversations, in the real world. And if you have only ever practiced written, careful, word-by-word English, hearing this can be deeply confusing. But here is the key. You do not need to speak this way right now. First, you need to recognize it, to understand it when you hear it. And then, over time, as your mouth becomes more comfortable and your speed naturally increases, these connections will happen on their own. For now, let's practice a sentence that uses natural connection. As you say it, allow the words to flow into each other. Do not stop between each word. Let it move. I think I'm going to try my best to speak English every single day. Say it as one smooth thought, not 7 separate sentences. I think I'm going to try my best to speak English every single day. Let going to run together. Let I'm be quick and light. Let every single day land with weight at the end. Again, I think I'm going to try my best to speak English every single day. One more time, slightly faster. I think I'm going to try my best to speak English every single day. Your mouth is building the path. Trust it. Part 8. The big shadowing practice block. Now we train. This is the core of today's lesson. 20 sentences. Each one will be said for you slowly and clearly. Your job is to repeat each one, out loud, right now, 2 times. Do not wait until later. Do not say you will practice after. The practice is happening now. Say each sentence out loud as you hear it, then say it again. Focus on how your mouth moves, not on the meaning. Ready? I speak a little better every day. Again, I speak a little better every day. I am not afraid to make mistakes. Again, I am not afraid to make mistakes. My English is getting stronger with every practice. Again, my English is getting stronger with every practice. I will keep going until it feels completely natural. Again, I will keep going until it feels completely natural. The more I practice, the better I become. Again, the more I practice, the better I become. Today I choose to speak with confidence. Again, today I choose to speak with confidence. Every sentence I say makes my mouth stronger. Again, every sentence I say makes my mouth stronger. I believe I can speak English clearly and naturally. Again, I believe I can speak English clearly and naturally. Slow and clear is always better than fast and unclear. Again, slow and clear is always better than fast and unclear. My mouth is learning, my voice is growing, my English is coming. Again, my mouth is learning, my voice is growing, my English is coming. I'm training my mouth the same way an athlete trains their body. Again, I am training my mouth the same way an athlete trains their body. Each sound I practice becomes easier the next time. Again, each sound I practice becomes easier the next time. I don't need to be perfect. I need to keep going. Again, I don't need to be perfect. I need to keep going. Speaking English is a skill, and I am building it right now. Again, speaking English is a skill, and I am building it right now. I am not the same speaker I was a month ago. Again, I am not the same speaker I was a month ago. My confidence grows every time I open my mouth. Again, my confidence grows every time I open my mouth. I know what I want to say, and my mouth is learning to say it. Again, I know what I want to say, and my mouth is learning to say it. This is not easy, but nothing worth having ever is. Again, this is not easy, but nothing worth having ever is. I practice every day because I have decided to be fluent. Again, I practice every day because I have decided to be fluent. My mouth knows the path, and every day the path gets clearer. Again, my mouth knows the path, and every day the path gets clearer. 20 sentences, said out loud, twice each. Your mouth has just done 40 repetitions of English sounds, 40 moments of physical practice, 40 small steps toward muscle memory. That is not nothing, that is everything. Part 9. Sophia's Turning Point. Let me go back to Sophia for a moment. Around the 5th week of her daily mouth training, something happened that she did not expect. She was waiting for a bus when a tourist stopped her and asked for directions, in English. Before, Sophia would have felt her body go cold, would have said sorry and walked away, would have let the moment pass because the gap between knowing the words and being able to produce them was too wide, too frightening to cross in public. But this time, something different happened. Her mouth opened, and the words came out. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but clearly enough, confidently enough. The tourist understood, smiled, said thank you, and walked in the right direction. And Sophia stood at the bus stop with tears in her eyes, not because her English had been perfect, it hadn't, but because for the first time her mouth had not betrayed her. For the first time, the path was clear enough that her voice could find it in real time, under pressure, in a real situation with a real person. That is what we are building. Not perfect English, never perfect. Even native speakers are not perfect. We are building available English, English that is there when you need it. English that your mouth knows how to produce even when your heart is beating fast and you have no time to think. Available English is built exactly this way. One sentence practiced out loud, one sound trained deliberately, one morning of 15 minutes before you check your phone, day after day, quietly, faithfully, until the mouth knows the path. Part 10. The specific sounds worth training. Beyond the TH sound, there are a few other sounds that speakers from many language backgrounds struggle with. I want to give you each one with a quick training moment. The W and V sounds. Some languages do not clearly distinguish between W and V. In English, they are completely different. W. Your lips form a circle like you are about to whistle. Word, work, want, woman, with. V. Your upper teeth rest lightly on your lower lip and you push air through. Voice, very, visit, value, verb. Practice together. Word, voice, want, value, woman, verb. Feel the difference in your lips. One opens wide and round, one presses teeth to lip. I want to use my voice. Hear both sounds in one sentence. I want to use my voice. Say it. The short I and long EE sounds. Many learners say these the same way. They are not the same. Short I, as in sit, it, this, give, big. Your mouth is relatively relaxed. The sound is brief. Long EE, as in seat, eat, these, leave, speak. Your lips pull back slightly. The sound is longer. Feel the difference. Sit, seat. It, eat. This, these. One sentence with both. I sit here and eat every evening. I sit here and eat every evening. Say it. The R sound. English R is produced from the back of the mouth. Your tongue does not touch anything. It curves up slightly in the center without touching the roof of your mouth. Air flows around it. Really, write, read, remember, repeat. Say each one slowly. Feel your tongue. It lifts but does not touch. Air moves around it. I really want to remember every word I repeat. Say it. Part 11. The 15-minute daily routine. Now, I want to give you something practical, something you can use starting today. Not a complicated program, a simple, honest routine that takes 15 minutes and builds real results. 15 minutes every day. That is all. Morning, 5 minutes. Choose one sentence from today's practice block. Say it 10 times, slowly, clearly, with full attention to how your mouth moves. Not 10 times mechanically, 10 times with awareness. Feel your tongue, feel your lips, feel the breath. Then say it 5 more times, slightly faster. Let the rhythm develop. Afternoon or during your day, 5 minutes. Find something written in English, a news headline, a short paragraph in a book, a message on your phone, and read it out loud, not silently, out loud, even a whisper, even alone, even in your car. Read it once slowly, then read it again, focusing on rhythm, Which words are heavier? Which words are lighter? Evening, 5 minutes. Choose 2 or 3 sentences you want to practice, either from today or from something you heard during the day. Say each one out loud 5 times. Let the words connect, let the sounds flow. Then, just before sleep, say this sentence, quietly, to yourself. My mouth is learning English. Every day the path gets clearer. Tomorrow I will be a better speaker than today, not as a performance, as a truth, because it is. Part 12. What changes and when? I want to tell you honestly what to expect from this training. In the first week, it will feel strange, deliberate, effortful. You will feel like you are thinking too much about your mouth and not enough about what you are saying. That is normal. That is what the early stages of building muscle memory feel like. In the second week, certain sounds will start to feel more familiar. You will notice that specific words, ones you have practiced many times, arrive more easily. Your mouth will start to recognize them. In the third and fourth week, something shifts. The sounds you have been practicing stop requiring conscious effort. Your mouth begins to reach for them automatically. The path is becoming familiar. After 6 to 8 weeks of daily practice, you will have a different mouth. Not a perfect mouth, not a native mouth, but a practiced mouth. One that has been to the addresses of English sounds so many times that it can find them quickly, under pressure, in a real conversation. And one day, you will not be able to name the exact day, because it will arrive quietly. You will be in the middle of saying something in English and you will realize you are not thinking about how to say it. You are just saying it. Your mouth knows the path. That is the moment we are training toward. Final shadowing practice. Let me close today with 5 final sentences. These are the ones I want to stay with you, the ones that summarize everything we practiced today, in sound, in rhythm, in the movement of a mouth that is learning. Say each one out loud, slowly, with full attention. Speaking English is a physical skill, and my body is learning it. Every sound I practice today becomes easier tomorrow. I am not waiting to be fluent. I am becoming fluent right now. My mouth knows more than it did when this lesson began. I will practice tomorrow and the day after, and every day until English is mine. Your mouth has been training tonight. It has found new positions, made new sounds, followed new rhythms, built new paths. It is not the same mouth it was when this lesson started. Not dramatically, but really, quietly and really. Keep going tomorrow and the day after, and every day for 15 minutes before you check your phone, before you start your day, before the world makes its demands on you. Give your mouth its practice. It has been waiting for this. I'm Alina. This is English After Midnight. Train your mouth, trust the process, and come back tomorrow. Good night.